Again, I'm just shaping this. There we go. Good. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and extrude this again. This time we're going to extrude these two pieces here. And they're not the same size, so this will be interesting. Got some crazy, wacky stuff going on here. Let me go back to Vertex and fix this a little bit. Because this one is pretty small. This one is fairly large. So let's move that one out a little bit. This one in a little bit. There we go. Okay. Alright, so that looks a little better. So let's click on that one and shift click this one. Make sure none of our edges or faces are selected. Just those two. I'm going to go into Edit Mesh and Extrude. And I'm going to move the blue arrow. Okay. Now I'm going to continue to shape. So it's kind of a pain. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start using the manipulator to help me out. So I'm going to click on the red box and scale that in. Okay. Click on the red arrow, move them around a little bit. There we go. I'm going to hit the G key and use the blue arrow, move it up. Okay. Alright, we can kind of scale this out a little bit like that. Right. So at this point we're going to kind of have to go into vertex mode again. I'm going to select this vertex and move them one at a time to follow the outline. Sometimes you just have to do that. No big deal. It's so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to go in here, and that's what we got so far. And we're going to go into face mode, select this guy, and shift select this guy. Again, make sure you don't have any other edges selected. And you can see that I've got my polygon. It shows how many polygons, vertices, edges, and tries. And to get that, go to display, heads up display, and go to poly count. That kind of tells you too how many faces you got selected. So I'm going to select it, those two guys, go to the top view again, and hit extrude, and move the blue arrow up. I'm just going to extrude it one more time, G, move the blue arrow up. So now I'm going to kind of select them by vertices again. In the bottom curve, you're going to have to kind of pull in a little bit more. We're going to have a little bit more room up here to move around in. Okay, so just move vertices around. That's how you do it. It's not going to be perfect. Don't expect it to be. Okay, so let's go to face mode again. Go in here and hold the shift key down. I'm going to close this off. Okay, I'm going to do two more extrudes. Extrude one, and then hit the G key and extrude one more time. Don't let those intersect. Okay. And what do we do with the ends before we select off? Just hit the delete key because we're going to close those off at the very top. So now we're going to go in here and fix this up. It's going to look great. You just wait and see. You have to trust me on this. Been doing this for a little while. So I'm just kind of moving these verts around. just kind of, I don't want them bunching up together, so I may find myself just tweaking it out a little bit. Okay, I want this one where it is. It needs to be kind of in the middle. Alright, let's do the same thing over here. Okay, now we're ready to close it off. Just like we did before. I know it looks a little goofy looking. That's okay. So let's zoom in here. And we're in the perspective mode now. I'm going to select this vertex here. Make sure I don't select anything else. And then this one here, hold the shift key down. And make sure you're only selecting 2 vertices. Okay. So I got 2. Look up there. You can see 2. And then I'm going to go to Edit Mesh and Merge to Center. Now I'm holding down my spacebar every time I go into the marquee menu. We talked about that. I'm going to select this one, shift select this one, double check, make sure there's only 2, hit the G key. And select this guy right here, and this one right over here. Make sure you only have 2, hit the G key. Okay, you'll get better and better at this. G key. So that's all selected. Good deal. Alright, from this viewpoint it looks pretty bad, so let me fix things up so it will smooth better. Sometimes you get a little carried away. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get those moved over. Yeah, you probably heard my son screaming in the background earlier. Yep, such is the life of a father. Let's just go in here. Alright, let's move that around. Okay, I think we're doing good. Again, it's not perfect, but, you know, good enough. Alright. That's bothering me a little bit here. I think it's because we're modeling sideways. It's causing some issues here. Alright, I'm going to hit the 3 key. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Alright, so let's look at what we have so far. Compare the 2 together. Got some thickness there. That's a one thin piece of metal here. If you look at this bottom part right here, and then it gets a little bit thicker, it's pushing up into that other piece. Okay, so it's kind of pillowed out a little bit. Alright. Okay, so we got the basic outline looking pretty good. And I'm going to see if we can thicken this up a little bit. So I'm going to select these edges, or these faces, or these points, vertices. I'll get it right sometime. I've got 3 of them. I'm going to move those up. I'm going to thicken this up a little bit and move this out. So we're actually going to get some. So hit the 3 key. You can see that tab is kind of folded in a little bit. Now there's quite an edge there. So I might want to maybe rethink that a little bit. Let me take this one, this piece right here, and push that back. That's pretty hard edge. And let's see what that looks like. Okay. Alright. Okay, I'm going to hit the 1 key, almost like the way it was before, so that's the beauty of undo, Control Z. And do Do I have Control Z? Control Z! Yeah! Go back, go back, go back. There we go. I think what I want to do is to fatten it up a little bit. I can take this vertex here and shift select this one here. Maybe move these up to see what happens. Make sure the other ones aren't selected. And hit the 3 key and then move these up and see if that kind of gives me that kind of puffy look right here that we're getting with the other ones. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I like that. Alright, so with the tab here, I think it needs to be a little... Let's take a look at that. So if we can add more edges in here. I think it's just kind of caving in on itself a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do is, I like the shape. I think the shape's okay. Let me think about it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this while I'm thinking about it. Save scene as. Let's go to H. Right. Okay, and we need to fine-tune this. I'm going to go ahead and get a insert edge loop. Insert an edge loop right in through here. Just kind of will thicken that up a little bit and kind of get it to act a little bit better. There we go. Okay, and we probably want to add an edge loop in through here as well, so it doesn't break apart. Okay. There we go. Problem with that is that creasing that will cause some issues. So let's take a look at it. Don't go too far with this. Let's go into here and let's see some of the things we did to it accidentally. That's adding that edge. Hit the 3 key. Right, so now it kind of took care of giving me a nicer edge in through here. Okay. Alright, but we see some issues with this. Necessarily didn't want that really harsh edge here and here, but that's what we get when we add these edges like that. So we have to separate those pieces or get rid of them altogether. To do that, we want to add an edge loop right here, because we want that to go all the way around. So let's go in here, edit mesh, insert edge loop right there. Okay, there we go. Hit the 3 key again. So that's looking better. Okay, so we need to fix this. To do that, I'm going to do that into another tutorial. So let's fix these edges up. So I'm going to go in here, and let's just leave it the way it is right here. We'll go into another tutorial. I'll see you in a little bit.